What's up, people? I'm back with another video. I gotta discuss this traveling rule again, because I hate when people try to argue down about stuff that's in the rule book. And I don't even know what they're doing to misinterpret this. As I keep reading it, it becomes more and more simple that you can't do a step through. The step through is a walk. There's no other way that you can interpret that. Let's read this. Traveling. A player who receives the ball while standing still may pivot using either foot as the pivot foot. Again, that is telling you that a pivot foot is meant to be your plant foot. That means that's the foot that gotta stay planted unless you dribble, or the foot that you gotta stay planted after you done dribbling. I don't even know why people think they can move their pivot foot other than taking a jump shot. And both feet gotta come off the ground. Both feet gotta come off the ground in order for you not to travel. That right there is already telling you on the first one. But I guess they needed some more explanation on it, right? Now we go to B. A player who gathers the ball while progressing may take 2 steps in coming to a stop. Right? May take 2 steps in coming to a stop, passing, or shooting the ball. Or if he has not yet dribbled, 1 step prior to releasing the ball. That right there means if you come to a legal stop, you can still pivot on your foot that you make your pivot foot, but you can move around the other foot, right? That's what that means. I don't know why. I don't know how people getting it confused. I don't know how it got confused, right? A player who gathers the ball while dribbling may take 2 steps in coming to a stop, passing, or shooting. So that means once you take that step, you take that 1 step to establish your pivot, then that other one hit, you can shoot the ball, pass it, right? Ooh, boy. Now this is finna tell you what they mean by 1 or 2 steps. So the first step occurs when a foot or both feet touch the floor after gaining control of the ball. I think this is the one that they try to misinterpret the most because they give it too much leeway. But if you got control of the ball in your hand, that's gaining control. It's nothing else. You gained control. You gained control. Not that it's spinning in your hand. Even if it's spinning in your hand, you got control of it. If it come to a pause, you got control of it. So that's what it means by that. So the gather is the gaining control. The second step occurs after the first step when the other foot touches the floor or both feet touch the floor simultaneously. 3. A player who comes to a stop on step 1 when both feet are on the floor or touching the floor simultaneously may pivot using either foot as his pivot. If he jumps with both feet, he must release the ball before either foot touches the floor. Now here we go. A player who lands with 1 foot first may only use that foot. may only use that foot. Let's read that again. 4. A player who lands with one foot first may only pivot using that foot. Why do y'all think they saying that? I don't even get why people, how are you misinterpreting this? I'm so confused. How are y'all misinterpreting what this saying? It is clear as day what this thing is saying. It's not even close for you to even say that you can do this. But we can keep going, because as you keep going, it's going to be clear and clear that you cannot do a step through without it being illegal. 5. A progressing player who jumps off one foot on the first step may land with both feet simultaneously for a second step. In this situation, the player may not pivot with either foot. Let's read that again. A progressing player who jumps off one foot on the first step may land with both feet simultaneously for the second step. In this situation, the player may not pivot with either foot, and if one or both feet leave the floor, the ball must be released before either returns to the floor. How are you misinterpreting it? Let's go to C. In starting a dribble after receiving the ball while standing still, or coming to a legal stop. This is the bullcrap that they was trying to say that made the step through legal. I don't even know how they did it. I still don't know how they did it, because either way, you still can't do the step through according to the rule. Again, let's read C again. In starting a dribble after receiving the ball while standing still, or coming to a legal stop. So that means both of these, they telling you what you can do. In both of these situations, they telling what you can do. So in starting a dribble after receiving the ball while standing still, or coming to a legal stop, the ball must be out of the player's hand before the pivot foot is raised off the fucking floor. Like, what are we talking? It says it right there. I don't even have to go any further on this, because it already told you. In starting a dribble after receiving the ball while standing still, or coming to a legal stop, the ball must be out of the player's hand before the pivot foot is raised off the floor. Like, what is this? What are these people talking about? I ain't even finna read no more, because that C is the end all be all when it comes to this. Anyway, man, I'm sorry for the profanity, but it just make me mad that people just lie. Man, we gotta start pointing these liars out and stop listening to them. These are liars. These people are liars. I don't know why they want to lie like this and act like the rules don't say what it say. They just lying. C is blatantly telling you that you can't do that. In starting a dribble after receiving the ball while standing still, or coming to a legal stop, the ball must be out of the player's hands before the pivot foot is raised off the floor. Anyway, man, like, share, subscribe. Peace.